So I've got a bit of a race day coming up in a couple of days' time. Finished the mirrors, which is actually quite nice. Ended up printing them in a red, the side mirrors, and then also colour matching them. And when I say colour matched, I mean race car colour matched. Which is to say they're red, same as the car. And will look colour matched going past from about 100 yards. But no, I'm quite pleased with how they turned out. Just got to give it an alignment. Give it an alignment now and change a couple of tyres. Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, it's cool. I quite like that. Put these in here. Tyres are actually really, really hard to get on and off if you just fight them. If you're not thinking about where the entire tyre is in relation to the wheel and the bead. Come here, up on here. Yeah, with rally tyres, they tend to be really stiff sidewalls, and people find them hard to get on and off. And if they're not careful, they can just tear the bead, and the whole thing's wasted. You ruin a perfectly good tyre. Basic principle of taking off a tyre is wherever you go ahead and try to debead it or put it on or off, the opposite side needs to be as deep into the well as possible. Once you've got that principle, the whole thing's pretty easy and real gentle. And if you fight it and you start wrong and you don't have the opposite side in the well, it's got wire around there, so inside here is wire, so it's not just flexible. Otherwise, of course, you'd go over a curb or a ripple strip or a bump, and the whole thing would just come off the rim. So around the bead here is actually solid, so it's got no stretch in these parts, or very little. In any case, just gentle was the way to do it. Everybody says, "Oh, use a manual tyre machine, you're going to ruin the lips and that." Only if you're an idiot. Otherwise, it's pretty simple. Goodbye, friend. Okay, what do we got here? Got a couple of gems from the wrecker. 10 holler. Which one should we? With minimal cracking. Not to say no cracking, just minimal cracking. Give this a bit of lube, bit of love. Probably the only lube this tyre's seen in the last, I don't know, what's the age of this tyre? What is it? It's a Goodyear Eagle. Made in New Zealand, so long out of production. Just to be honest, the size, what is this? Just a 185 6014. It's a super old school size. There's just not many cars being mass produced now that take a tyre, if any, that take a tyre like this as the size. Side facing outwards. Oh, it's directional. Well, that's interesting. So here we go. Just put it on the bead, nice and carefully. That's it. Not long. I don't think it's going to last long. One of the great things about driving an 8.6 or any 4AG NA powered car, they're just super easy on tyres. Awesome. What's next? Those ones are done. This one here. What is this thing? I've never even heard of this brand. Made in Argentina. This is an old tyre. This is another old gem, similar vintage to that Goodyear Eagle from over there. I think it's probably about a similar vintage to the car that it's going on, actually, which is almost a bit beyond belief. Fairly basic, but you can see we've got a little bit of toe in. I don't want the toe in. I want toe out. Let's get it going. Let's get the toe out going. This is my mobile wheel alignment hoist, also known as a car trailer. Truth be told, I forgot about this wheel alignment, and we're going racing tomorrow, so that, as they say, is that. You can actually do this with string, but I have this aluminium angle lying around, so just do it like this. And with a solid rear end car, basic rule of thumb is a good place to start is at the front wheels facing the same direction as the back. So pretty straightforward. Which they are now, more or less. And I've gone ahead and hauled forward the caster because it was uneven and it had like 2 degrees of caster, not enough. So I've hauled it forward. Now we're pretty good. Only thing you got to make sure is that you, typically speaking, what I do is I haul it forward till it only just clears on lock, only just clears this point here. That's usually the limiting factor. You can cut that out and stuff like that, but I don't want to do that. So I just haul it forward, so when you turn this wheel here, it doesn't impact on that, and that's about where I leave it. It should be about 5 degrees caster or something like that, 5 or 6. Anyway, whatever. Helps it self-steer a little bit, and I think it's going to work out good. I'm going to take it for a bit of a run now, take it out of the garage, take it for a run and go from there. But I mean, I'll throw these in the back of the car too. You can adjust these on the fly. These pieces of angle, they don't weigh anything. And they're actually really good because you don't need to piss around with string or anything. You just got to make sure you don't bend the angles. But you can just look at them, and if they're not bent, they're not bent. Then you just put those on the front and away you go. You know, one of the things I love about X6s, they're light. done. Took it for a test drive back in. There's actually one thing I forgot to do, and that is compare the weights of the mirrors. I always forget to do things like this. 86 dash, quite neat. Okay, weights. We have, drum roll, standard mirror, 1,012 grams. Aftermarket mirror, we have 214 grams. So it's like 200 grams versus 1,000 grams. So it's a kg versus 0.2, so 2 kgs versus 0.4. What will it mean? Just about nothing, but it's definitely in the right direction. Middle of summer, this is what you get. 4 seasons. Yeah. This way? Very important at a racetrack. You want to make sure you go the right way. Never presume anything. Very slick. She's very slick out. Nice Levin. Our first time out at levels in Timaru. First time that I can remember. Got to go careful. You've got to go treat it like a tarmac rally stage without any recce, which is to say, just drive carefully, leave a bit of margin in it so you don't fly off the track. Got a lovely straight, two lovely sort of straights, good chicane at the end of that pit straight, double apex corners at the back end. That's a really neat track. People in Timaru lucky to have that track, especially for drifting. It's awesome, very dynamic. At that first corner, you can, if you knew the track, you can just fly in, big entry, and then it's actually a double apex, so gnarly. And then the second corner is actually a double apex but smaller, and it's yeah, it's not a boring track by any stretch. Awesome track. I'll do a bit of a bolt check and have another try. Hopefully it dries up. Turbo. I thought I'd just pop under here and take a look at the tyres, see how the backs are doing. Now, to the untrained eye, these $10 tyres that have been drifted on might look like they're ready for the bin, but I reckon they're ready for a grip run. Let's do it.